Hey guys, what's up? Listen, just giving you a game report. We had our third game last night. Going into that game, we were 2-0. Been playing pretty good. I've always been honest with you guys. I'm not going to pull any punches. We got smoked last night, 20-13. And it was the best team, the best team in the league we played. And I will take responsibility for 10 of those runs because 10 of those 20 runs were earned. And as a pitcher, you can't really worry about unearned runs because you can't do a lot about that. But 10 of those runs were on me. And looking back at the game, I can see critical places where I just didn't make the pitch. And so that's something for me to work on this week. Good thing is that a couple of pitches I've been working on, I've really been working on my screwball, trying to get the location on that. I don't have that one quite mastered yet, but last night I was 3 for 3 throwing that screwball. When I hit my spots against their best hitters, I was 3 for 3 getting them out. So that, on the positive note, is working out. And really, as a pitcher, that's all you can really do, is you can work on your game. And the runs that I did give up that were earned, I can always trace them back to basically missing spots. You miss a spot and you leave it fat. A good hitting team like the one we played last night, they're going to hit you and they're going to score. They're going to get their runs. So, I'm always going to be straight with you guys. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat anything or say, oh, wow, I had this great game and that great game. If I have a great game, I'm going to tell you. And if I have a game that's not so hot, I'll tell you that too. The point of this video is, as a pitcher, you have to be careful to distinguish between runs given up that are earned and unearned. And I know you guys that are, into the game, you understand that. You understand the difference between earned and unearned runs. But as a pitcher, it's really easy to get frustrated when you see runs going up on the board and you're making pitches to get the outs. And it just doesn't happen. And there's not much you can do about it. I mean, you don't make all your pitches, so I guess it's a little unreasonable then to expect your defense to make every play, right? You would like to see them make routine plays, and if you make routine plays, you don't give up unearned runs. But in any case, that's something that you have to keep separate from your game. Otherwise, you get frustrated and you start trying to play outside of yourself or outside of your abilities to make up for other things that you have no control over. So the main thing is to try to keep your team in a position to win the game. Stay with your pitches, stay with your game plan, and hopefully your team can come up and score the runs. We did have a really good inning in the 6th inning. We scored 9 runs in the 6th, and so we did rally a bit. We just couldn't rally in the 7th and make up those other 7 runs. But it has a psychological effect on the team also when early in the game give up a bunch of runs, and the other team really didn't earn those runs. And you spot them 6-8 runs right off the bat, and they really they're undeserved. It can really take the wind out of you. So again, that's another thing you want to separate from your own game. Stay with your game plan, keep making pitches, and then when you think about it later, just review what you did, try to work on that in the next week. So to be specific, the mistakes I made last night that contributed to the 10 runs that I did, that I'll take responsibility for, were pitches that, again, I left up and fat that I missed. And, we're not talking about a lot here. We're talking about inches, because when you're pitching low, and I had a question this week from one of our subscribers, he mentioned that high pitches were harder to hit than low pitches. And I agree with that, as long as the pitches are, right at the max. If you can get a 12-foot or higher pitch and the umpire will let you have that pitch, then yes, that's a good pitch. But I don't like to be in that middle zone, in that 8, 9, 10-foot height range. I don't like to be in there if you can pitch higher. Or I like to be right at 6 to 6.5 feet. Now, the problem with a 6-foot pitch is if you pitch it too deep, it still comes in pretty fat. So you have to stay on the corner with that pitch. And the lower the pitch, the more difficult it is to control the distance of that pitch. So you have to be right on the black of the plate, or right on the back edge of the plate, or 2, 3, 4 inches right there to keep that pitch effective. If it gets up there and it's landing 12, 18 inches behind the plate, that means it's coming in too high and it's going to get hit hard. So 2 or 3 times I do remember that pitch was up there a little too high. It got hit pretty good. I didn't give up any home runs, so in that sense it was a good game. I did make some good pitches with the screwball, breaking in, starting in on the inside of the plate, and then running off the plate onto their, right on their shoelaces. I was 3 for 3 when I hit my spot on that every time. So that's the kind of thing you need to look at as a pitcher. Those are the kinds of situations, win or lose, it doesn't make any difference, is to look at your game. What are you going to work on this week? Now, this week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep working on that screwball. I'm probably going to throw that pitch 300 times, and I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down to the arc. I'm going to keep that pitch down, and I'm really going to work on my line on that pitch, because there were a few times I threw it last night and I started it out too far and it broke right over the center of the plate. And when it broke over the center of the plate, I got hit pretty good a couple of times on that pitch. It's all about spotting the pitches. I mean, every game I pitch, every season that goes by, I'm more and more convinced that your success or failure is determined more by location of the pitches than any other factor. More than movement, more than arc, more than anything else. If you can locate your pitches, you're going to have more success. So my goal this season is to keep my opponents under double digits, 9 runs or less, with my earned runs. And I was a little over last night with 10, but anyway, that gives me something to work on. You can get a little bent over the team performance, but you're not perfect either. So all you can do is just encourage your teammates to make the plays that they need to make. Give them a little space. Don't be jumping down. Don't be jumping in their chili whenever they make an error, because I missed my pitches. So there you go. It's a team contribution when you lose. But to measure accurately your own progress as a pitcher, you have to look at the ERA. That way you know if your performance is helping or hurting the team win or lose games. So this week I'm going to work on my screwball, and I'm going to really focus on my line. The break is working really good on that pitch. I'm very consistent with the break. I don't have the line of that pitch mastered. What I mean by the line is the left and right. I need to start that pitch on the inside corner and then let it run off about a foot on the inside. And when I hit that pitch last night, it was almost automatic. In critical situations when there were 2 strikes, I started it on the inside corner and it ran about a foot off the inside, and all 3 times the batter, being behind in the count, swung and hit that ball foul down the third baseline every time. So, that's a great pitch, and I'm feeling really good about that. I may use that more than I have been, but before I do, I really need to get my line under control. Right now, I'm probably throwing it 5 out of 10 times, 4 out of 10 times where I want it to be. I need to be up around 7 or 8 out of 10 to be effective with that pitch. So anyway, there it is, guys. If you have any comments or questions, please put them in the comment section, and I always answer your questions. Now, I don't always answer your comments because, if you make a comment, it doesn't always require a response. But if you have a question, I always answer your questions. And again, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.